Hi, this is Robert from Retro Car Guy 530 LLC. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing the brand new GoPro Hero 7 Black. Bought the camera last week with my own money, and I'm going to be going through some of the features I'm taking advantage of in the new camera, some of the quirks that still exist in the camera, and give you an overall opinion of how I use it with my YouTube and Instagram TV channels, and especially for the Instagram TV channel, one of the new features that I absolutely love about this camera. Besides the other major feature that I absolutely love about this camera. So after the intro, let's get into start talking about the GoPro Hero 7 Black. So on the left we have the Hero 6 Black, and on the right we have the Hero 7 Black. They are virtually identical, other than the actual 7 Black is a black color to the casing, or a darker color to the casing. The feature technology is definitely improved in the Hero 7 Black, but there are still some quirks that I've run into, that I've previously run into with my Hero 6 Black as well, but I wanted to go through and show you some of the video that I've captured with both of them and the different modes that they have. So with that, let's capture some video with each of them. With the Hero 6 Black, there's been a problem with the internal microphones as far as capturing quality audio. This is using the internal microphones for the Hero 6 Black with the original plastic case that came with the camera. Unfortunately, there wasn't a great solution for me when I was going around capturing audio and video at several of the car events that I go to. So I ended up getting the $49 external microphone USB adapter for the GoPro Hero 6. And then I had to go through a multitude of microphones, finding one that did not pick up the gimbal noise. Unfortunately, the Hero 6 Black by itself on the internal microphones, if you have it on a gimbal, will pick up the motor whine. Utilizing the external microphone adapter and putting it on a gimbal, I can walk around and get some high quality video, but I still have the problem of stabilization in a large sense. The gimbal will take out a large part of it, and the video stabilization on the Hero 6 Black helps, but I still have the bounce feature of walking around. It doesn't do a great job at totally eliminating that. Even with a gimbal, with a 3-axis gimbal, you try to put it at a point where you get most of that removed, but there's still that ever so slight movement like that occurs that is really kind of annoying. So with the Hero 7 Black, we'll see a couple of comparisons where I'm walking up towards the vehicle that I have here with me today, my Chevy SSR, and you can see normally I always run with stabilization enabled. So I will show you the Hero 6 Black next with the stabilization enabled and on the internal microphone. So let's give that a shot now. This is being filmed at 1080p, 30 frames per second in linear mode, and with my walking around, you'll notice there's probably a slight bounce in the gait of with the gait of my walk here, where it's picking up that. And for the most part, though, overall the video is pretty stable from what I've experienced in the past, but I really needed the gimbal to fully remove most of that, and this is just on a handheld tripod at this point, so there's no gimbal in use at this point. This is the GoPro Hero 7 Black with the internal microphones and set at 1080p, 30 frames per second linear mode, which is the typical mode I use for walking around the various car events that I go to. So this does have the HyperSmooth stabilization enabled for this mode. So let's take a look at what this video looks like compared to the Hero 6 that I just took some video with this stabilization enabled on that. But let's notice that the walk around should not have as much of the bounce from my walking gait in it. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to have to record this segment with the leaf blowers in the background, so I apologize for the audio if it's picking that up. So with that, I'm going to show you now one of the main reasons I wanted to get the Hero 7 Black, besides the HyperSmooth stabilization feature. It was to get this vertical video format. with Instagram TV taking off, I wanted to have some way of recording vertical video format, and the GoPros just didn't do that before. So if you're producing content, you either had to stretch it or crop it and stretch it to fit into the 1920, normally 1920 by 1080, instead on Instagram TV it's 1080 by 1920. So with that, I wanted a way to do that kind of video natively. And I had some other iPhones and such I was trying to use for that, just wasn't working out very well. So with the Hero 7 Black, I get HyperSmooth stabilization, and I get the vertical video format. So let's take a walk around the truck, again, showing you that format and showing you how smooth it can be. This is just on a tripod being handheld. There's no gimbal being used with this. Not bad for a tripod held camera and vertical format video natively on a GoPro. This is testing out the TimeWarp video feature, so I'm running a 1080p wide and 5x. I believe the default is 10x. So I just took a little walk down the sidewalk to see how the video would look, and it looks pretty good with the feature. It seems real easy to generate this video, so if you're interested in this feature, it seems to be a nice one. Here's the problem I've been having with my GoPro Hero 6 and 7. Changed the battery and the smart Wi-Fi remote just doesn't connect again. I was just taking video, battery was under 40%, so shut it down, powered back up, and Wi-Fi remote's not connecting. I'm now using my Hero 5 session to record this video because I'm going to be working with my Hero 6 Black and Hero 7 Black, and I have the external microphone adapter with a wireless microphone. So let's demonstrate some of the behaviors that I've observed with the Hero 6 Black. When I try to connect it to a USB-C connection, which I'm connecting it to my HP Omen 15T laptop, which has an externally powered USB hub plugged into it, and I'm going to plug it in now, and as you can see, it doesn't even acknowledge the connection. There's times where you don't see any change in status. I'll unplug it, and then I'll plug it again, and it will connect. And then it will spawn the execution of the GoPro Quick application, which will allow me to import the files. But connectivity over USB is my main issue with this Hero 6. As far as USB issues, the sporadic behavior of it is somewhat frustrating, and I've noticed that's also carried over into the Hero 7 Black as well. So now that I've completed the import, I'm not going to delete the files at this point. I'm just going to exit the application, and I'm going to disconnect. And let's just see if it connects again. And it did. So like I said, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't on the Hero 6 Black. I have observed a problem similar to this with the Hero 7. It's not that it doesn't connect, but it seems to go into hyper-connecting mode. So let's go ahead and exit the 6 and exit the Quick app. Let's bring over our Hero 7 Black. Power it on. Attempt to power it on. Okay, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. This is a new behavior. I have had it hang up once before, and I had to pull the battery. And There is like a 48% charge in this particular battery, and it's non-responsive. Interesting. Let's take a look at this. Let's pull the battery. Put it back in. And it's responsive again. So I've had that behavior. Yeah, 48% is what it is on the screen here, if you can see that there. 48% in the upper right corner. All right, I'm powering up my Hero 7 Black now, and then this is the smart remote that I have paired with it already. And I'm going to power that up and try to get it connected. The Hero 6 Black at times will not allow the smart remote to connect, and sometimes the Wi-Fi gets turned off between uses, which I'm not sure how that happens because I do not go into the menu to change it. It seems to just turn it off. So we have connected. So I can force it to create video, record video. And that's one of the behaviors I've noticed with the Hero 7 Black is when you tell it to stop recording, be it through the smart remote or through the record button on the top, the initial beep will be there, but it'll take several seconds for it to actually stop. So I'm not sure if that's related to some of the HyperSmooth technology requiring a little bit longer time to shut down, but it certainly is an extended time compared to the Hero 6. So we seem to be working. And there. No, I do not want to start voice control. So you can also turn off the camera from the smart remote. So I usually do that. And sometimes when it does that on the Hero 6, it doesn't fully shut off and you have to pull the battery. As we've seen here, I didn't actually do that today on the Hero 7 Black. It timed out from inactivity and then it just wouldn't revive until I pulled the battery. So let's turn it off from the smart remote. Okay, they're both off. And the screen on the front and everything's off. So let's go ahead and turn it back on. Wow, that's troubling. I now have a SD card error. All I did was turn it off and turn it back on. This is a SD card, 128 gigabyte SD card that's compatible with the device. Let's see if we can get anything. Yeah, there's no capacity rated there. I just experienced the SD card error on the Hero 7 Black, and the camera it was only giving me the option to format the SD card, micro SD card. So I decided to remove the SD card and insert it directly into a micro SD to USB converter with USB 3 speed. And luckily, the files appear to be accessible. So I'm going to go ahead and import the files. So if I had followed the suggestion on the screen from the Hero 7 Black, I would have lost all my files, which included all the review files that I have from the Hero 7 Black from earlier today. I'm not very impressed with that particular choice, other than they should at least tell you to try to recover it by removing it and doing a file system check. So let's go take a look at some of that footage. And it does appear to have video files. Okay. Let's look at that TimeWarp video. So there's one example that the option given to you by the camera didn't really give you the best option. You needed to actually pull the card and try to recover the files external. Let's go old school here and tell it to check the disk. Yeah, according to this, Windows is not unhappy at all with the contents of that disk. Since I have copied the contents off, I'm going to eject the micro SD card from my computer and put it back in the Hero 7 and see what it thinks. I've reinserted the micro SD card into the Hero 7 Black, the one that was on the laptop computer that had no complaints. The check disk found no problems. So let's go ahead and power it up. And this time it's not complaining about anything, but let's go through preferences, and you have to go down to reset and format. Going to turn on the Wi-Fi remote again. See how long it takes to get connected, which is actually not too bad. And let's see if it complains while recording in write mode here. Okay, it looks good so far. And I'm going to tell it to shut down. Press and hold the mode button. All right, let's turn it back on. Okay, seems to be happy so far. Let's try the USB connection, see if we get the hyper USB mode. No, it's behaving itself. It said it connected, but the GoPro Quick app did not get started. Let's try to manually start it. The whole USB subsystem is just not quite what I would call consistent, would be the best way to say it, I guess. So let's import the one file. Let's go ahead and tell it to delete. And let's exit and disconnect. So it's behaving itself today. But you may experience, like I said, the hyper USB connected to video, whatever the camera is pointing out at that point. You'll toggle between them every second or two. So if you see that, the only resolution I've seen is unplug it, give it a few moments, then plug it back in, and it will either not connect at all, which I've seen and demonstrated on the Hero 6 today, or it will connect and work, or it might do hyper connection. One of the three things will happen, and I can't find any regular predictor of which way it will behave when I connect it. The Hero 6 in my left hand here and the Hero 7 in my right are virtually identical. And of course, there's a color difference with the Hero 7. They have a different color case for the different series Hero 7s. This is, of course, the Hero 7 Black, because it does actually state that on the outside, whereas the 6 really didn't state that at all. And you'll notice that I have the cover removed on the end, because when I insert it into the cases, if I'm doing external any audio with the 6, I need to have the external mic adapter, which is I'm actually using on the Hero 5 session at this point in time to capture this audio. And the other behavior that I've noticed with both of these is that the Hero 6 and 7 both pick up gimbal motor noise. You have to turn on the wind mode in this Hero 6 to try to avoid that. Let me bring this one back on. And you'll notice I've got the little wind icon here. And under mics, it's set to wind mode to try to remove some of that noise. It's not as dramatically reduced or present in the Hero 7 Black as it is with the Hero 6. But with the Hero 6, I need to have it, so the wind mode is noted here. So under the side, manual audio control is set to wind only. That way it actually seems to muffle the gimbal noise, the motor noise. The 3-axis gimbal that I use to capture video at the various car events that I go to, if I don't turn that off or turn that feature on, I'll end up having the motor noise in the audio captured by the camera, which is somewhat annoying. For this price level of camera to run into that particular issue, I was hoping with the 7 that it would be eliminated. It still is present with the 7, but I went into the settings here and turned wind mode on here, where with the 6 it would take it from, let's say 100 is the without the wind setting, it would drop it to about a 20. Here, without the wind setting, it was probably about a 50 compared to the 6 versus 100 on the 6, and it will drop it to about a 30. It doesn't really, you don't really hear it in the first part with the wind setting turned off, but you can, if you're in a very quiet situation and you move the gimbal, you can hear it. So that's another quirk that I've seen with both of these, and hopefully going forward there's a way to isolate the audio from such a, if you're going to put this on a gimbal, you're going to have motors nearby. It should be insulated a little better to hopefully not pick that noise up. The other issue that I've run into with the external audio when I have the external microphone adapter is a variety of external mics will pick up the Wi-Fi signal. As I stated, I use the SmartRemote and I have Wi-Fi turned on for that capability in the camera, and because of that, some microphones pick up the Wi-Fi data transmissions, and you hear that in the audio as well. So you need to turn or find a microphone that is isolated from or insulated from that particular noise from Wi-Fi. And it took me a few different microphones on my Hero 6 Black to avoid that particular noise as well. And it makes my gimbal look really strange. I not only have the Hero 6 Black itself, I have the external microphone adapter, which is a USB-C connection, and then you have the 3.5 millimeter connector to the microphone, and then you have a microphone. Not the most elegant solution when it comes to capturing high quality audio on a Hero 6 Black. Hero 7 Black audio is better, but those are the quirks that I've run into, and as you've seen today, I've run into one where it thought my card was corrupt when it wasn't. So be careful about that. Don't always choose the format option. Check it out on a computer. See if you can actually recover the files before you format your micro SD card. So in summary of my review of the GoPro Hero 7 Black, I'm impressed overall. I did have some issues. Of course, you saw my SD card issue, which at this point I can't tell if it's the camera, the firmware, the method that I used to shut down the camera, or what it was exactly yet. So could be my SD card has an issue that I didn't know existed before. I've been using that card for the last 2-3 months without a problem in my Hero 6 Black, but we'll see over time. The new features such as the HyperSmooth stabilization seems to be pretty darn good. Is it a gimbal killer? No. I don't think it totally eliminates the need for a gimbal, but in most situations, you can get away without a gimbal, which is a vast improvement over the original Hero 6 Black that I had, and certainly better than the Hero 5 Session that I started with as well. The TimeWarp feature that certainly makes it easy to get time-lapse video put together quite easily on the Hero 7 Black. And the other amazing feature that I just couldn't wait for, I mean, it's not unusual for other cameras, but for the GoPro cameras, having vertical video being natively recorded on the camera is a brand new feature, and certainly will ease my recording of video for the Instagram TV channel content going forward. So would I recommend getting a GoPro Hero 7 Black? Certainly. I believe there will be some updates in firmware. I purchased this myself with my own money a couple weeks ago. I actually used their trade-up program, so I sent in a camera that was originally worth $99 or more MSRP and was able to get $100 off the camera. So that's how I purchased this Hero 7 Black. And I'm very eager to use it going forward for my Retro Car Guy 530 YouTube and Instagram TV work, and probably will be buying another one to supplement the one I have, so they both have HyperSmooth technology in it. My Hero 6 Black can certainly be used for other things. It's just the cost will prevent me probably from getting another one right away, but we'll see how it goes. So I'm overall very positive about the camera. When I first got it, I did install the latest firmware, which was part of the setup of the camera. So I know I have the latest firmware, at least as of the release week in early October. So check it out on GoPro's website and see what you think. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you in deciding whether you want a GoPro Hero 7. Of course, there's the black, silver, and white versions of the camera, if I recall correctly. So check those out. And if you like the content in this video, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. Share it if you would. And if you haven't already and you like the content on this channel, please subscribe to my channel and check out my content on Instagram TV as well. So this is Robert at Retro Car Guy 530 LLC saying thank you. Hope you come back to the channel again. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. If you're stopping by the channel for the first time and you want to, please subscribe. Click that bell icon to get notified when I upload new videos. Please follow Retro Car Guy 530 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thanks for taking the time to visit the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.